Boy, do we have a lot to talk about, right? And so, as the entire country, it seems, at least much of the South and us in this region and Northeast, has been dealing with those cold temperatures, still the aftermath of this last winter storm a few days ago. We're staring down at another weekend potentially for another Arctic blast here, man. And so I'll go ahead and let you take it from there, because I'm sure if anyone's like me, I have questions on what we're looking at for this weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be 2 weekends in a row of some wintry weather. But the difference between last weekend and this weekend is that this upcoming weekend seems to be a bit more snow rather than a wintry mix and that sleet and ice, which is good because you don't want to see ice. Sleet isn't as bad as ice, but if you can get an all snow storm, why not? And especially because it's likely to be fluffy snow. So shoveling it isn't going to be that tough if you get enough where you have to shovel. But we have the weather impact alert as we head into this upcoming weekend. We've had this over the last couple of days, this impact alert for accumulating snow, the possibility for some tidal flooding, and some gusty winds. We could see gusts 50 to maybe even 60 miles an hour closer to the coast. This low pressure system that is going to evolve off the coast is going to be a pretty strong one. So that's why we're going to be seeing some gusty winds and the potential for that tidal flooding. And it's looking like we'll see some snow moving in as we head into the middle of the day. So late morning into the early afternoon, midday, we'll see that snow developing. And then it'll start to get a bit heavier as we get into Saturday evening and Saturday night. There is the potential we could see a few dry pockets kind of filling on in. So there could be periods where you're not seeing any snow, but it'll be fairly consistent heading into the day on Saturday and then into Sunday morning. But Saturday night, looking like that's when we'll see the heaviest of snow rolling in, but also the possibility for some blizzard conditions with those gusty winds and the snow blowing all around. And then by Sunday morning, we'll start to see this taper off. So by late morning into the early afternoon on Sunday, we start to clear out and things are looking much better. So cold weather is going to be in place. It's going to be there. Highs on Saturday are only going to be right around 30 degrees. We'll see the snow developing as we head into the late morning and early afternoon. Another cold day on Sunday, but we start to see the wind picking up more into Sunday morning. So it'll be a very windy start to Sunday morning into the early afternoon. Highs again only around 30 degrees, but feeling much cooler than that with the wind chill. Now, right now we do have winter storm watches in effect for the entire Hampton Roads area. I'll pull those up for you. So this includes the peninsula's eastern shore down into the south side and eastern North Carolina. A good chunk of Virginia is in this, except for northern Virginia. Pretty much the entire state of North Carolina under winter storm watches. And even as far south as South Carolina and Georgia, all included in these winter storm watches. So you remember last week, these alerts stretched thousands of miles.
Yeah.
This time, as we zoom out, it's just us. It's just Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina, and a little bit of Georgia and some parts of Tennessee. So it's not this giant cross-country storm like we saw last week. It's going to be a storm evolving off the East Coast, which is why it's only going to affect people along the East Coast, especially us here in the mid-Atlantic. So that's for Saturday and Sunday, for the potential to see some snow, gusty winds, and tidal flooding. Now, there is the potential to see a little bit of mixing, especially in areas around the Outer Banks. It's not going to last the entire time, but in the beginning, you could see a little bit of rain and sleet mixing in. And then as we head into late Saturday and Sunday, we see that transition on over to more snow for you guys. So we could time this out here on the Euro model. We could see a few light flakes Friday night, but other than that, most of us dry. It's not until Saturday morning we start to see snow showers moving on in. Not going to be super heavy at this point, but we could see some heavier snow by the early afternoon. You'll notice a few dry pockets, around Rocky Mount where you're not seeing any snow falling down. That's a potential. We have that potential to see that here heading into the afternoon and evening, or maybe not dry pockets, but some much lighter snow at least rolling through. So I don't think it's going to be, heavy, heavy snow from start to finish. We're going to see on and off snow, moderate at times, light at times, heavy at times, but certainly heavy Saturday night, especially down in eastern North Carolina in the Outer Banks into Sunday morning. And then by late morning and early afternoon, we see this rolling out. So 12, 1 o'clock. And this also aligns with the GFS now. The GFS, the last couple of runs had this model leaving a little bit later Sunday evening. So late Sunday, they had the system rolling on out, but now it's more aligned in the Euro where the snow is kind of moving out late Sunday morning into the early afternoon. Now here's a look at some snow potentials. Now again, this is the GFS and the Euro. This will go up and down over the next couple of days. We'll see changes, but what I want to point out is that the numbers are kind of opposite of what they normally are. Normally we see higher totals towards the north and east, or north and west, excuse me. So, Tappahannock, West Point, Richmond, Newport News normally sees, the higher totals, and then it comes down getting into the south side, especially closer to the coast, and especially down by the Outer Banks. But this time around, looking like eastern North Carolina, the Outer Banks could get in on heavier snow totals than everywhere else. Some places seeing double digits according to these model runs. I'm not going to say that's out of a realm of possibility, but numbers will go up and down the next couple of days. But this is, again, just to give you an idea of what we could expect Saturday into Sunday. So more in eastern North Carolina, maybe 5 to 7 around the south side, give or take, and then again less the further north you go. So up towards West Point, Richmond, Tappahannock, not seeing as much snow because that cutoff is right around that area of the snowfall. So let's take a look again at the wind gust potential. It's going to be breezy as we head into Saturday and especially on Sunday. So Saturday afternoon, gusts 20 to 30, maybe even 40 miles an hour Saturday night. And then by Sunday morning, it really starts to pick up, especially in the Outer Banks. Close to 60 mile per hour gusts are possible, 40 to 50 closer to the coast, even 30 to 40, 45 in areas inland. So it's just going to be a very windy start to our Sunday morning. Could there be the potential to see a blizzard warning? That could be a possibility. We'll see if they issue one of those, but it's not out of the realm of possibility for at least some areas around here. So we'll see if they issue one, but right now just under winter storm watches in our area. But as we take a look outside, though, right now things aren't looking too bad. Plenty of sunshine. It's been a frigid start to the day. It's been cold the last few days, only in the mid to low 30s, and we're going to stay that way for a while. Even over the next 10 to 14 days, temperatures are going to be staying below average. So
let me ask you this, Hunter, because a lot of thought and questions from even viewers and people, we've had these conversations internally about the work that you all do as meteorologists, which we're so appreciative to have such a great team here at 13 News Now. When you look at a storm system potential like we're currently expecting for this weekend, and you compare it to last weekend, not in the size. We know that is a major difference here about where the storm could hit and how many states it spans. This past weekend was massive, right? We know that. But in how you as a meteorologist go about the process in prediction, are there any changes in how that storm would have been approached versus maybe this winter storm is approached based upon the models, based upon timing? I don't know. But do you guys does that factor in at all in how you even approach the prediction of what could happen?
Yeah, last week, that storm system, there was a lot more agreement with the models. So the confidence level was higher on kind of what was going to happen with that storm system. I know a week before it hit, the models went a little crazy with the snow totals, of course.
They were insane, yeah.
They were insane. But after a day, they leveled out. We kind of had the same scenario each and every day after that for a good chunk of time. And it pretty much ended up, how it was supposed to be. I think the snow totals were a little bit less off towards the north. But, around the south side, we ended up getting around an inch of snow in some areas, which was expected for this area. So the confidence level was a bit higher with that system. This one, the models are in less agreement. They're getting a little better. The Euro and the GFS are getting a little bit better, especially with timing, coming in Saturday morning, leaving Sunday morning and early afternoon. Snow totals are a little different, but not terribly different with the Euro and GFS. But there's one model like the Graph, which is our in-house model, more high definition model. So you can only go a couple days out with this model. But with the latest run, it is so different compared to the others. Not as much snow. Not even nearly as much snow, not even close, and just, a few flakes flying around for the south side off towards the north. More for the Outer Banks, a couple of inches for the Outer Banks with this model. But it's much different than the others. So when you have a lot of inconsistencies with the models, you don't have high confidence. But I think they're coming in line a little bit better, where we do have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen. But again, it all depends on where this low pressure system tracks. That is the $1 million question. If it tracks closer to us, we'll see more mix, less snow. If it tracks a little bit further off the coast, all snow, more snow, Goldilocks zone, if you like snow. And then if it's too far off the coast, you'll see like the fringe of the snow, and you won't, of course, see as much snow totals.
And I think that's important for people to kind of realize, because they don't understand fully the process that you all go into, right? You got the different models, you have the science and the prediction, all of these things that you all are factoring to give people a chance to be prepared. And that's really what it's all about. We want you to be the most prepared for whatever comes your way as possible. And so it's just interesting to me when I read like comments and people are saying, oh, but X, Y, and Z didn't happen. No, that was communicated that this was the chance that could happen. And so I think being able to pull back the curtain and people seeing what you all are having to deal with, they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
We get it.
There's a lot that goes into it, and we really try our best to give you the most updated information. If things change, we let you know. We really do try our best. We're not trying to, gatekeep any information on any storm. Of course, we want you to be prepared and safe and get what you need. Especially if a snowstorm is coming, you want to get your nice good snacks. I don't want to keep that from you. I want to give you as much time as you can to get those, because some people wait last minute and it's too packed for the grocery store.
Yeah, you don't want to be that person. Now, meanwhile, there are plenty of students and probably maybe some teachers. They love their job, but they can take some time and be at home for snow. They have families too. And so there are people who are like, man, are we going to have a snow day? Now, again, this is over the weekend. We're not looking at this based upon what you're saying to be on a Friday or even Monday.
Right.
However, I know one thing I was asking of Craig recently was, because it's still so cold, if it does indeed snow, even to the level in which it could be on the lower end, I'm assuming it will stay at least on the ground for some time, because it doesn't look like, according to your 7-day, the temperatures are going to warm up enough
Right.
for it to kind of melt away.
Yeah, we're going to stay well below average even after this storm in the low 30s. So it's going to take a while for it to melt. And especially, on the back roads where maybe you're not seeing all the plows going by, or they're not as treated as well as the main roads. I mean, look, even today, there were still schools that were delayed from the last storm we had. So it's just something we'll have to watch as we go throughout the next couple of days.
Okay, Hunter, and we're getting closer and closer. I'm not going to lie to you. Selfishly, for me, I'm like, do I want it to snow again? I don't know. But
I'm with you.
Either way, we know that we'll be here, and we'll
Yeah.
be making sure everybody can stay safe
sure.
and informed, and that is what we love to do. But
Can I just see the 7-day real quick?
Oh,
yeah, let's
sure.
put it up. Anything Sarah says we have to do, by the way.
1,000%. Here is the 7-day. Look at that. Cold. Snow on the weekend, weather impact alert Saturday and Sunday. And then even into the middle of next week, we're still in the upper 30s. So no major warm-ups are on the way.
Although I'll take 38 because it's trending in the right direction.
I suppose.
It's trending.
Okay.
Listen,
right.
a positive is a positive. A win is a win.
A win is a win.
A win is a win. Oof. Oh, man. Okay, Hunter, we appreciate you. And remember, you can always find more from our team of meteorologists simply by downloading the 13 News Now app. You can get it on your phone or a tablet for free at any point. Mm-hmm. You can also catch Craig Moeller, our meteorologist, in Daybreak. And Hunter and others will sometimes be on it as well for the Weather Desk. That's right here on this platform, 13 News Now Plus, from 9 until 9:30 weekdays, so Monday through Friday. Is there anywhere else, Hunter, that people can find content specifically from you guys? I know they can follow you on socials.
Social media, YouTube.
Okay.
You can Google.
Yeah, we can do that.
Um,
And give your social really quickly for people who are listening in.
My Facebook is at Meteorologist Hunter Forst.
Okay.
Instagram at Hunter Forst.
Okay.
HUNNER
Okay.
FORST.
Yes, that is a big difference. But listen, there are so many ways you can make sure that you're locked in and you are most prepared for what could come our way just
Yep.
in a few days. But